Hey, welcome back. So in this follow-up video, we are now building. So we have now added more of what we call app routing here. So previously we just had index.html, and I haven't modified index.html to have each one of the buttons or tables to point us to the sublinks. So I haven't modified it for now. So for now I've just updated each one of the subcategories we created: government, mid-market, channel partners, enterprises, small businesses. So app route is the URL from which you can access it, and render template is the one from the template directory. The HTML we generated and moved it to the template directory, we pointed to that. So I've added all the 5 categories here, and also there's index.html. And all then I did is I ran this program Python render html.py and posted this brought us here. So here if I just do government, so this will take us to the government only entries here, which is like the 3 pages we saw. And similarly after government, let's copy small business here. So you can go to each one of the subcategories we have listed here. So after small business, if you want to also see mid-market, you can also see that. So basically all the 5 should work here. So if you want to know more about this one, I'll mention what it is. So the idea of app routing here, when we say app.route here, it's just nothing but mapping URL to a specific function which will handle the logic for the URL. So here, so the function we have is mid-market, and what we are trying to do is calling render template when this endpoint is encountered. So that's basically all we are doing here, and that's all I wanted to see. If you are having this in debug mode, then you can do this. If you are not having in debug mode, then you can also remove this debug equal to true here. And the next thing we need to do is, let me move back to my application here. So I will just copy my index.html. I'll just rename my index.html to index.bak.html. and now let's go and create a new index.html here. So let me start saving that here in templates. Okay, let me type an HTML and call it index.html. So the first category we do need is this is the standard we would have in any HTML, and we can call this then what we need is title. So in the title, let's open this and let's call this financial dashboard, and let me close the title. Okay, and after the title is over here, so then the another thing I do need is so we'll be using bootstrap to create some sublinks here. So I do need that. I pointed to the CDN hosted bootstrap installations, which is min.css and jQuery, so that you don't need to locally install it. If you don't want to host that in some application and want to do it locally, you are free to do that too. So I am just trying to close the head tag here. Okay, and after this, then next what we now need is a body tag, and to close the body we need to close the body like this. And after all this, we now need to exit HTML. So these are all the tags I wanted. and in the body tag, so you can have something like h1, select the type of let me call this segment, financial data you want, and let's close our h1 tag. And after closing this h1 tag, that's it. If you want, you can put this in a div tag, and in div you can go through the classes in bootstrap, or the another one I would recommend is you can go to something called layout it here. So in layout it, you can go to a bootstrap builder and you can actually select whatever you want here. So what I'm trying to do is so we have 5 categories. So yeah, let me do this here. So this is basically the template I want, and I don't want rest of them, so I'm removing it. And if you go to download here, so this will give you the URL. You can just copy paste it, and if you don't want it, then you are free to play around with your own combinations here. And that's basically what I wanted to cover. And now let's get back to R here. So let me okay, I'm just doing let me remove that, remove this, and remove this. Okay, and I need to close another div tag here, and instead of this we now need to mention our the form action should be updated to one we are interested in. So let me go back to my use case in the demo table in the render. So let me copy government. Okay, so here, so let's do government here, and here I'll just paste the same text. Okay, government, and after this mid-market. Make sure there are no empty spaces here, then you will see a 404 error that you can't access the mid-market. So if you don't have this right links with spaces, then you will it will result in a 404 error, that page not found. So just always make sure that you have the right text here. This should be a closing tag. Okay, and after government the next one is enterprise and small business. Okay, so let me go back and change it to enterprise. E should be capital here, and okay, and E should be lowercase here. And after this, the last one that's pending is small business. So let's go and do that too here. Okay, and let's do the same here. So once we update this to small business, then basically that covers our application. So let me go back to, I don't even need to rerun this because we already have it running. So if I go back and update it to, see, now you actually see the home page here, which is done in Bootstrap. And I showed you, if you don't like this format, you can go ahead and play around with your own. Here I'll attach the link of this URL here. Whenever you do Bootstrap, not just in Flask, you can actually if you're not good in CSS, this is a good way to just do it and download your standard template and get started with it. So if I click on government, it takes us to government. If you click on enterprise, it takes us to enterprise. If you click on small business, it takes you to there. And if you click on mid-market, it goes there. And so does a channel partner. So all the links we were looking for are now working, and this covers this tutorial. In the next one, let's get this into databases and do more detailed querying from the database. And thank you for joining. We'll be covering more in Flask. And once we have done all the applications in Flask, let's understand what is MVC and microservices. We'll wrap up our Flask series with MVC and microservices. Thank you for joining.